An ode to India's coming of age. An icon symbolic of the India of today and the India of tomorrow. The iconic world towers are testament to the spirit of India. Redefining not just the iconic skyline of Mumbai, but is also the symbol of aspirations and very definition of life in the skies.
What the Eiffel Tower is to France, or the Empire State Building is to the United States, or the Burj Khalifa is to the UAE, the iconic world towers is not just to Mumbai, but to India. Emblematic of India's proud new footing in the world, the very definition of an unparalleled lifestyle, and a symbol of unbridled aspirations finding a beautiful home. Welcome to Life in the Skies at the World Towers, partnered by ET Now, a series where we bring to you the inspiring stories of 6 vibrant personalities who reside at one iconic destination, the World Towers. How they chose to rise up against all the odds and how they've rewritten the very definition of success. Hi, I'm Sumit Lakhotia, and this week I'm in conversation with the founder and managing partner of one of India's leading law firms, Krishnamurthy and Company, Naina Krishnamurthy.
One of India's formidable legal minds, Naina Krishnamurthy is a powerhouse in her own right. With a long list of clients, including some of the biggest multinational corporations, business houses, banks, and many more entities, Naina commands a group of 80 formidable and successful lawyers themselves at Krishnamurthy and Company, a major player in the Indian legal market.
So Naina, let's start from the very beginning. Growing up, both your parents were working. I believe your father was in the Air Force, your mother was in the hotel industry, and you and your brother. So what was childhood like?
Well, it was a lot of freedom. We had a lot of freedom. My dad wasn't there for a lot of times, for extended periods of time. It was my mother, but she was also working.
Right.
So it was a lot of time with my brother and I.
Right.
And there was a lot of creative sort of pursuits that were developed because there was no social media, there was no
of course,
TV. There was not even TV when I was growing up, right?
Yeah.
TV came much later. So we did a lot of, I did a lot of plays, local plays. We did a lot of clubs, with the local kids. So it was a lot of that.
Even as a child, as you were growing up, you knew that you were meant for something extraordinary. I mean, so how did that belief come about? Because a lot of our foundations are built in childhood. A lot of our thoughts come in from childhood, which kind of leads us to our careers, our life. So just wanted your
the
input.
reason I'm smiling is because I always knew I wanted to lead. I never wanted to follow.
All right.
Right? So anything that was created, when I talk about plays, putting up plays, setting up clubs, it was me. I had to do it. Like it was nobody else's initiative. I had to do it. And I still remember in 2nd standard, my favorite teacher, Miss Aziz, right? I was a very average student in school. Nothing extraordinary and exemplary. So, but 2nd standard, for some reason, I was noticed by this teacher. And she kind of, I got an award at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And it said for initiativeness, right? And as a 2nd standard child, I didn't even know what that meant, right? I was like, I don't know what this means. And can you imagine the prescience of that, that kind of recognition at that age, right?
Yeah.
So she must have seen something in me that I didn't see in myself.
Any mentors during the young age? Because again, who was some people that you looked up to, kind of who inspired you, motivated you to go that extra mile?
I've not had mentors per se, but I've had role models.
Right.
And those have been in-house. So they've been my mother, my aunt. They have been my dad, who, Before feminists, being a feminist was sort of popular and glamorous. He was one. He never distinguished between my brother and me. He expected the same out of me as of my, as out of my brother. He expected the same kind of achievements, the same kind of excellence. So I never for once felt my gender with my family. And I had really strong women. My mother finished her law when she was 50, right? She redid herself when she's 50. Yeah, she qualified as a lawyer. My aunt, another really strong woman, another role model. I mean, the kind of trials that she's gone through. And starting with my grandmother, who was the strongest lady of them all. So, I grew up with those kind of role models. So, you can't really do anything different.
So, you mentioned your mom did law at the age of 50. Was that where, I mean, in a way, when you found your calling in law, did that play an impact, or was it before that?
No.
Any specific moment?
I was a lawyer before that, before she became a lawyer.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So I kind of stumbled. I'll tell you something. I just stumbled into law. It was not something that I'd planned. My father said, there's this new university in Bangalore called National Law School. Why don't you just do the entrance exam? So I went there kicking and screaming because I didn't think I was going to be a lawyer. Got in. Wow. No idea how, but got in. But I'll tell you something, the first day that the first class that I had, I knew this was my calling. I mean, and I feel very blessed, I feel very fortunate to have that kind of clarity.
Yes.
Because a lot of people go through their lives
just searching for that one thing that they can resonate with.
Knowing what they don't want to do, but not knowing what they want to do.
How true.
Whereas I found what I wanted to do.
So Naina, when we talk about your days in college at the National Law School, what were those days like? What was Naina like back then?
A nerd, in a word. I think a lot of my college mates, a lot of my classmates will say that. In fact, some of them were unsure whether I was in law school at all, because I would come in 1 minute before the bell rang, before the classes started, and then I would leave 1 minute right after the bell rang at the end of the day.
Okay.
But I was very, very clear that, I was going to attend my classes, I was going to do well, and, because the subject interested me so much, and I loved it. I love law. Even today, I have such a passion for the practice.
Right. Let's move on in the career process. So you were at Arthur Andersen first, then I believe you were a counsel at the Council for Biocon. What somewhere clicked and you said, I'm going to head out on my own?
I didn't find the right boss, but
I'm sure there are a lot of people who say that, but we'll leave that conversation for another day.
But seriously, I think I always wanted to do something on my own. Like, even my childhood kind of was a sort of setting for that. I just never wanted to follow. I always wanted to lead, and I think that I wanted to create something that was all mine, that I believed in.
Right.
The environment, the office, the kind of work that I would do, everything had to be something that I actually 100% believed in.
Of course.
And I think, the necessity is, I think, the creator of all invention. And I was in Bangalore in '99. There were hardly any job opportunities at that time. Okay. Really, there were no. I mean, I must have sent my resume to I don't know how many people, but nobody was hiring. For whatever reason, and I was too junior anyway for them to consider me. So I said, instead of, whining and whinging and complaining, let's see if I can create my own opportunities.
Now, entrepreneurship as it is a tough space. This is 1999. Like you said, Bangalore, no job opportunities. Of course, entrepreneurship was really tough back then. And you were a female lawyer. I mean, but you know how it is, the male lawyer versus female lawyer. It happens male versus female in almost all workspaces, all career fields. Yeah. Did you face something like that? What were the initial days like?
About 80% of my clients are male, right? I mean, if you look at the, the profile of clients, I think I've been extremely lucky in terms of the people that have taken, it's a leap of faith that they've taken in me. A lot of them were men. Yeah. So to me, of course, I have had those instances where, I've gone in for a meeting and the client has just kept waiting and looking at me and then looking at the door, and I'm wondering why. And then he says that, oh, I'm waiting for Mr. Krishnamurthy to come.
Oh.
And I'm like, no, that's me. You got me. There's nobody else coming. Right? I've had those, but those are very rare. So
Right.
I would not like to say that, oh my God, it was such a struggle. It was actually, I think I was lucky in the people that I met with.
More than 20 years with the company and a little bit more
Yeah,
as
practicing.
being practicing.
Almost 24 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's kept you going? What's been like some of the motivating factors, inspirations, moments during this journey?
Honestly, I'll tell you, it starts with the people I work with
Yeah.
within the firm. Today, you know, you do have some missteps. You do kind of go off course. You know, it's all, like I said, an entrepreneur's journey is never linear, right? It's 2 steps back, then 5
Yeah.
steps forward, then 10 steps back.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's never linear. But again, it's something that I believe in. And I think that what motivates me is this concept of service. I know it sounds a bit, it may sound a bit corny, but that's something I actually really believe in. Service to my people, service for my clients, service for the entire ecosystem, right? I think that really drives me. And I think that's what makes it different for people when they work here, is that they just feel a sense of, you know, belonging. And I think that's what I wanted to create. So when people say, what was your vision when you created the firm? I wanted to create a firm which was a happy place. It's simple. It was a very simple concept. No politics. You know, no kind of bureaucracy. Just a happy place for people to come and work. And I think by and large, I've kind of achieved that.
Is that something which is kind of like the mantra even today when you're dealing with clients? Because I do know that you want to excel with what you're providing to the clients and bring satisfaction to you and them. So is that kind of something like the mantra even today at Krishnamurthy and Company?
Absolutely. I always tell my people, what will distinguish you from the other lawyer is that you don't go to the client with a problem, you go with a solution.
Yeah.
And I think that irrespective of what the issue is, and law is such an awesome subject, it's so flexible, there's so many ways that you can get creative without you know, violating any laws.
Without bending the law.
Yeah, without bending the law, no. But I think that you go, the objective has to be is like, how can I find a solution for my client? And that's what they're coming to us for.
You've been honored, and the list is too long for me to read out now. So
Please don't.
But what getting those awards, I know the cliche is how you felt, but how does that kind of redefine your purpose? What's the significance of this recognition?
No significance. I mean, with due respect to all the awards I have, and I'm very grateful for the accolades that I have got. But if I didn't get them, would I do things differently? No. I think that's the question. And I think what drives me is when people in my firm say they're happy, or they feel, you know, their family is happy that they're working here, and that their lifestyle has changed because they work here, that I've given them a lifestyle that they couldn't think of. When my client says, you know, this is why I come to you, Naina, because, you know, I know that you're never going to let me down. Those are the things that drive me, and those are the reasons I set up this firm, and that hasn't changed.
Fantastic. As a leader, what defines you?
I think what defines me is my sense of empathy, and I say that without arrogance or without, you know, overreaching here, because I know that, and I've had that kind of feedback from people. I think that is what makes me a good leader. I would like to think that it's my sense of empathy.
Don't go anywhere. After this break, Naina and I continue to talk about her life in the boardroom, in the courts, in office, and of course at her residence here at the iconic World Towers. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Life in the Skies at the World Towers, partnered by ET Now, and I'm in conversation with Naina Krishnamurthy. She's the founder and managing partner of one of India's leading law firms, Krishnamurti and Company, and we're talking to her about her life in the boardroom, at work, and of course after work here at the iconic World Towers. Naina, you know, earlier on when you were talking about work, you said one important thing about your company is that you wanted everybody to be happy. And for that to happen, you got to have a good work-life balance. So tell us about how you balance between work and home.
I think that this, personally, I think that work-life balance is is an illusion, right? I don't think that, I don't think that it just happens. I think you have to work at it.
Yeah.
And I think you've got to work at it every day. So there are little things that we do, right? Wherein it's very clear that once work hours is over, nobody gets called.
Okay. Yeah.
If something can wait till next day, we wait till next day.
Right.
If someone's on a holiday, nobody gets disturbed. Weekends, we actually have Saturday and Sunday, and we actually do not work Saturday. I don't work Saturday, Sunday. I don't want to be disturbed, and I don't disturb anyone. Because I think it's so important that you need that downtime to just be better on,
Yes.
on a Monday morning at work, right?
Correct.
So I expect that for myself, and if I expect that for myself, I expect that for people who work with me.
You started off in Bengaluru, but now you're here in Mumbai.
Yes.
So how do you juxtapose between both of them? How has that been, the life between both the metros? What's it like now?
Well, Bangalore will always be home.
Yeah.
It is home, and it will always be home. And I think Bangalore, I know everyone says it's a metro city today, but to me it was a sleepy little town when I was growing up. And I think parts of it still are, and I hold on to that. Bangalore gave me my start. Bangalore got me going. Bangalore gave me the support, the faith, the respect that I wanted, to create this firm. And Mumbai has welcomed me with open arms. Yeah. I think, when I started in Mumbai, when I wanted to start in Mumbai, I had a lot of people who said, what are you doing, right? Mumbai is overrun with law firms, long entrenched relationships, and you go there, you have no contacts, you have nobody, and you're not ever, what are you doing? It's stupid. You might as well just focus on Bangalore, which you're doing well here. But I think that this city gives you a chance.
It's the most important thing.
I think this city gives you an opportunity, and it's up to you on how you take that opportunity and what you do with it.
Very true. You're now living here at the iconic World Towers. It's pretty much in the heart of Mumbai, which, like you said, Mumbai has its own charm. It's got its old world with the modern. And like you said, Saturday, Sunday is your downtime, is your off time. So how do you spend time here at the World Towers? How do you spend time here at the property?
The first thing that attracted me to this place was the water, the fountains that you see as you enter.
Yeah.
I don't know, it gives me so much of peace. I don't know it. I just look at it, and I look at it in the evening, especially when I come back from work, or on the weekends when I go down for a walk. It just, there's such a sense of tranquility when I love that. I love water bodies. Before the lockdown, this was one of my go-to places. Every morning, you would see me here. The thing that attracted me to this place is just the type of people that are here.
Yes.
The kind of people that you could interact with and sort of connect with.
Yes.
I think that's what it is, and yet there's a huge sense of privacy that you get at the same time,
which is most important, which is very much required. When you're at home, what's your favorite part of the house and why?
The balcony.
I can imagine.
Because I'm from Bangalore, I'm a Bangalore girl. And plants, and my house is filled with plants inside and out. I think I crave that greenery because in Bangalore you grow up in bungalows.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it is the garden city.
It is the garden city. It still is the garden city as far as I'm concerned. But I think I love the balcony, and that's another thing that really I wanted to. I really found it very attractive is this concept of just sitting out in the balcony. There's this lovely breeze, and that's my favorite part. And every morning, I'm a very early riser. That's my place where I sit down.
Especially because, I mean, with a high rise like the World Towers, you get this amazing view from the balcony, which, like you said, must be even better in the mornings. You've traveled the world extensively. And for someone who's seen icons, iconic monuments, whether it's the Eiffel Tower or Empire State Building, Burj Khalifa, Petronas Towers, etc., your thoughts on actually living in one of the icons of India, which is the World Towers?
I think it's, I mean, to me, it is obviously iconic, but to me, it's home.
Yeah.
You know, I think, and that was very important to me because while it can be all these other things outside, outside, you know, to the outside world, if it's not home to you, then, you know, there's no point in sort of, you know, staying anywhere.
When you talk about a home, this is something which is, like you mentioned, you know, it's your safe space, it's privacy. The important part is about the time that you spend with the family also.
Yes.
So how do you manage that with the family? Anything special that you do? And just right here at the World Towers.
You know, there are a lot of things that I would like to do.
Yeah.
There are a lot of facilities here that one would like to do, but I think that we will get, you know, we're going to get to that once the, you know, things are being lifted out.
As things open up, what are you looking forward to spending Saturday, Sunday at?
Here.
At the gym, for sure.
And of course, the spa, the beautiful international standard spa.
Right.
You know, the cafe. I'd like to, you know, sort of savor the cuisine there. And yeah, so these are the things.
I want to talk to you about another aspect of your life. So we've spoken about work, we've spoken about home, but there are a lot of causes that are close to your heart, whether it's about animal welfare, education. Tell us a little bit about these. What are the ones that are the closest to you? And you know, you being an influencer now, I mean, you have a voice, people look up to you. How can you use that for, or how are you using that for betterment of these causes?
I think I can do much more. I just try and find the time. I can't seem to find the time, but I think I can do much more. But I do support, I've been supporting the last 15 years. I've been supporting 2 schools in Bangalore.
Fantastic.
One for a school for blind children and one for children for children of immigrant workers. You know, there's a school. I support a huge. I support an animal organization. It's an organization for stray dogs in Bombay.
Wow.
I'm very, very environmentally sort of inclined or aligned. So, you know, for example, every Diwali, what we do is we don't send out gifts to clients, but we plant the number of trees for in the name of every client.
Lovely.
You know, we do that. And we send them a certificate of the tree sapling that has been planted.
That's wonderful.
And I think that every client, without exception, has really appreciated that because they you know, Diwali gifts can just come and you're thrown in the corner, but you're doing something for the environment, right? So there are various initiatives that we have taken on as a firm.
Naina, you know, when we were speaking earlier, we spoke about how you've looked up at people as role models, but now you're a role model to many, an inspiration to many. Your thoughts, any message that you would like to give out to those people who are watching us, who are watching you? Your thoughts?
Gosh, that's a huge responsibility for me, but let me see if I can address that. I think that, you know, I won't start with this, you know, find your passion cliche, right? Because it's easier said than done.
Much easier
said than done. I mean, you know, it's like, yeah, but what's my passion? I mean, how am I supposed to find it? And it's easy for all of us to stand there and talk about your passion. But all I would say is get curious.
Yeah.
You know, get curious about what it is that sort of piques your interest at that time. Do it. You may not sustain it. You may say, okay, this is not something I want to do. It will lead you to the next thing and the next thing. And finally, you will find your purpose, your calling. So the thing is that never stop being curious. Even today, I'm always wondering, I'm always curious. I'm like, why did that thought come into my head? There must be something there. Let me pursue that, right? Why did this person come into my life? Why did I speak to this person, right? So all I say is that don't, keep looking for those sort of triggers, you know, that come into your life. I'm not saying that's the first thing that will become your passion. I mean, I was lucky I found it, but it will lead you eventually, and I know that very clearly, that it will lead you to finally your calling.
If there was something that you could have changed in the past, what would it have been and why?
Not a single thing. Is that a good answer?
I think that's the best answer because, I mean, people do believe that you are here because of whatever happened.
Some of all the things that have happened to you, I think I am who I am because of all the people, the experiences, the things that have happened with me, to me in my life, and I don't think I would change a thing.
Fantastic, Naina. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, and thank you so much for sharing your journey with us.
Thank you for having me here. It's been an absolute delight talking to you too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Life in the skies here at the World Towers is a privilege for a select few. Those whose journey and success stories are iconic just as the towers set against this beautiful skyline of Mumbai, that is Maximum City. Next week, same time, same place, we'll bring you another inspiring journey right here from the World Towers. Until then, goodbye and many thanks for watching.